3D modeling numero uno.
Welcome to Modeling Minion Part 1, and today we'll be modeling Minion Dave, and at the end of this tutorial, hopefully we will have a similar model that looks like this. So let's get started. First, let's create a new project. Let's go to File, Project Window, let's click New, and let's type in Minion, and let's hit Accept. Before we get started modeling, let's download these files in the description box and put them in the source images folder. Let's hit the spacebar real quick and go to the front view and go to view and go to image plane and import image. Let's select the front view of the minion and let's center it real quick and let's move it up to the ground plane. And let's hit the spacebar again and go to the right view and go to view, image plane, import image, and let's select the side view and open it, and let's move it up to the ground plane and center it to where the arm socket will be. And let's go to the top view and let's go to view, import image, and let's go to the top view and let's center it as well, and let's scale it real quick, give it a scale of 0.829. And now let's select the front view, move it back, select the side view and move it to the side, and select the top view and let's move that to the bottom a little bit. Now let's create a new layer and let's name it Imageplanes and save it, and let's select all these image planes and add it to the layer, and let's make it a reference layer so that we can't select it while we're modeling. Let's create a cube real quick and move it up. Let's go to the front view and let's go to mesh, smooth. Let's give it a division of 2, hit the smooth button, and let's scale it real quick to the reference image or the size of the man's head. And let's select the bottom vertices and move it down. This will be the lower half of the body. And let's select the right faces of the minion. And let's delete it. And let's go to Edit, Duplicate Special, and set it to Instance. And make sure the scale X is to -1. And that's Duplicate Special. Let's go to the front view and let's select these vertices at the hip area and scale them to make them straight. Let's go to the right view and scale these guys, scale them, and to match the image plane. Let's go to the top view, make sure it's matching the image plane as well. And let's select the mesh and let's delete history real quick. Let's go to the front view and let's go hit 4 for the wireframe mode, and let's select these vertices near the eyebrow area and let's move them up. And let's select these vertices down here and move them below the goggles, and let's go to the multi-cut tool and hit Control and create an edge loop near the mouth and the top of the overall, and let's select these vertices near the hip area and pull them out to match the image plane. Let's go to the right view and do the same thing, push it out to match the image plane. center these guys and push these guys in. And let's push these guys out. Hopefully it'll match to the image plane. Let's go to the front view real quick and let's select the multi-cut tool and hit Control and insert an edge loop right here. Let's select the vertices and straighten them out. Hit the scale, straighten it. Let's go to the side view real quick and let's select some vertices to match the reference image. Let's move these guys back, move these verts back, and move these as well. Move this back, move this back. Let's delete history real quick. Let's go to base mesh mode, which one? And let's select these faces on the bottom of the Minion body. And let's go to extrude. And let's give it an offset of 0.3. And let's extrude one more time in the world axis and extrude down. Let's go to front view and let's move these vertices to match the reference image. Move these guys, and match the pant leg. Let's go to the right view real quick and let's move these verts as well and match the reference image. Let's center these along the pant leg. And let's go to smooth mesh mode to see what it will look like. Let's go to base mesh mode and select this vertice right here. And let's go to edit mesh and chamber vertices and chamber this vertex. And let's select these 4 vertices. And let's go to edit mesh and let's circularize and let's make sure it has a division of 1. And let's select all these vertices and scale it so it matches the reference image of the arm size. And let's select the face of that arm and let's extrude it. And let's go to the front view and extrude it out to the wrist area. And let's go to select edge loop and put 2 edge loops right here. One at the arm, one at the wrist. And let's go to the multi-cut tool. And let's connect these vertices together. Connect these vertices together. Connect these vertices together to form a perfect quads. Connect these guys together. Let's select the edge loop at the arm and the body meets, and let's scale it a little bit. And let's go back to the multi-cut tool and let's connect these 2 vertices together at the wrist area and connect these 2 vertices together. And let's delete history. Let's adjust the vertices around the eye area. Let's go to the front view and let's select some of these vertices and round them out and adjust them to the eye socket. just these guys. And just these guys, a stray one in the back of the head. And let's keep adjusting everything and follow the reference image. If we take a closer look at the Minion's eye, you can see that it bulges out and it fits the goggle onto the eye socket. So that's basically like the anatomy of the Minion eye. Before we continue modeling, let's go to the description box and download the file minion_eyeball.ma and put it in the scenes folder. Let's select these faces in the eyeball area and let's extrude it real quick and give it an offset of 0.3. Next, let's go to File, Import, and let's import the eyeball, Minion eyeball.ma, and let's give it a scale of 1.6, and let's select these vertices and move it closer to the eyeball and conform it to the eyeball shape. Let's go to the multi-cut tool real quick and let's insert edge loop right here. And let's select the edge loop and move it in. And that will create the indentation for the eye socket. And let's create an edge loop right here. And move these verts up a little bit. Let's select these vertices right here to match the reference image. Pull them up a little bit. Pull these guys in. Let's select these vertices and pull them up to round out the top of the head. Let's select these guys as well and pull them up. Let's go to the multi-cut tool and create two edge loops here and here for the eyelid. Let's select the faces, these four faces, and delete them. Let's rename the Minion eyeball real quick. Let's delete the eyeball part and add a suffix _L. And let's do the same thing to the cornea, _L. And do the same thing to the iris. Add _L and to the pupil. Let's duplicate the left eye to the right side of the Minion. Let's go to the front view. Let's delete history and freeze transformations. Let's change the pivot point and let's hit D and hit X to snap it to the middle grid and hit D again. And let's go to edit, duplicate special, and make sure it's on copy and duplicate special. Now let's change the suffix of the right eye and change it to _R. Let's select these guys and go to modify, search and replace names, and make sure the _L is to _R. Let's create a new layer and let's rename it Minion underscore eyes and save it. And let's select the eyes and add it to the layer. And let's set it to a reference mode so we can't select it. Let's go to the layers and template eyeballs. Let's select the inner edges of the eye socket and extrude it. Extrude it in a little bit. And let's untemplate the eyeballs. And let's select some vertices and pull them out a little bit to create the eyelid. Let's select these guys and pull them out to form the eyelid. Let's select these two vertices as well and just lift it up and pull them out. Select these guys on the edge and pull them out. Make sure you leave a crease where the top eyelid folds down so we can create an eye blink. Just keep moving these vertices out until you form the right shape. And don't leave any gaps. Try to close the gaps between the eyeball and the lid. Let's select these vertices and pull them out. Let's select these guys and pull them out. This will form the bottom eyelid. Let's pull these vertices down and let's leave like a crease where the top eyelid folds down and the bottom eyelid folds up. And let's delete history real quick. Let's create the goggles for the Minion. Let's go to create polygon primitives pipe and give it a division of 14. Next, let's give it a 90-degree rotation on the X axis and pull it out. Let's go to the front view. And let's move it to the front of the left eye, the center of the left eye. Let's go to the poly pipe and give it a thickness of 0.175. And let's try to center it. And let's scale it to match the reference image. Let's go to the right view and let's do the same. Let's make sure it matches the reference image. Let's select the goggle real quick and try to center it a little bit. And let's go to the front view and let's select these vertices in the front and hit X to snap to the center. To do that, make sure your move tool is in the world axis and its retain component spacing is off. And let's go to the top view. Let's select these vertices right here and move them back. And let's go to the multi-cut tool real quick and make a cut right here. Just follow the reference image and make another cut right here where the indentions of the goggles are, and make another cut right here. And let's go to select faces select these faces and delete it. And let's hit Control 1 to isolate the goggle. Let's delete history real quick. Let's go to the back of the goggle and let's go to Mesh Tools and go to Append Polygon. And let's append these faces in the back of the goggle. Let's delete history really quick. And let's go to Mesh Tools. And go to the Insert Edge Loop option box and make sure it's equal distance from the edge. Let's go to the top view. And let's go insert an edge loop right here. And let's go to Select Faces. And select these faces on the outer edge of the goggle and extrude it. Let's select these two vertices right here. Go to the move tool and snap it to the center grid. Hit X to snap it to the center grid and move it up a little bit. Select these two. Hit X and snap it to the center grid and move it down. Let's select some of these faces here in the back of the goggle where it bevels a little bit, and let's go to extrude and let's extrude it out a little bit, just a little bit. And now let's select these two edges and go to the move tool and snap it to the center of the grid. Hit X and let's do the same thing here. Snap it to the center of the grid and move it down a little bit. Now let's select the back bevel where it bevels a little bit, and let's extrude it as well. Just a little bit, and let's do the same thing. Select the edge and hit X and snap it to the center and move it up a little bit. And let's select this edge and hit X to snap it to the center and move it down. And now let's select all the inner faces of the goggle and delete them. Let's select these guys and delete them as well. And let's delete history. Let's insert some edge loops into the goggle. Let's go to the Insert Edge Loop tool and insert one here. Insert one here before the first bevel. And then one here, one here, one here, and one in back of the goggle. And let's insert one at the entry point at the lid, and one inside of the lid. And let's insert one in the back of the goggle on the inside. Let's delete history real quick. And let's go to smooth preview and see what it looks like. I think it looks alright. Let's add one more edge loop to the front of the goggle. And let's go to the front view real quick. Let's select these vertices in the middle. Let's go to the move tool, make sure retaining component spacing is off, and make sure it's in the world axis. And hit X and snap it to the center so it's perfectly aligned in the middle. Next, let's change the pivot point. Let's go to the front view, hit D, and hit X to snap to the center, hit D again. And let's go to mesh, mirror, and make sure these parameters are the same. And mirror it. And let's go to Control 1 to isolate it and make sure nothing weird is going on. Let's hit Control 1 again and let's delete history real quick. Let's create the screws for the goggles and let's create a sphere. Hit Control 1 to isolate it and let's give it a subdivision axis of 8. Let's select the bottom half of the sphere and select all the faces and delete it. And let's select these edges and delete them as well. Let's select this edge right here and let's go to Edit Mesh and Bevel. Let's select all the faces of the beveled edge that we just created. And let's go to Extrude and let's extrude down. Let's scale it down a little bit and down. Let's select the vertex and merge them. Select these vertices and merge them. Select these guys and merge them. And select these guys and merge them. Let's scale the top of the screw a little bit. Let's select these faces right here and scale them so they'll be more flat. Let's select the bottom edge of the screw or the screw head and extrude it down. And select these bottom edge and extrude it in the world axis and extrude it in. Let's go to vertex mode and select those vertices and merge them. And let's select the bottom faces of the screw head and extrude it. And extrude it in a little bit. Let's extrude it one more time. Let's extrude it down. And let's extrude it again and extrude it in. Let's define the shape of the screw a little bit better. Let's go to the Insert Edge Loop tool and let's insert edge loop right here and on the other side as well. Let's insert edge loop down here and another one. Insert edge loop where the head of the screw and the base meet. Another one on the bottom. Let's insert edge loop right here. Let's delete history real quick. And on the bottom side of the screw, it doesn't look very round. So let's select these edges right here. And let's scale it out so it'll look better. It'll look more rounder. Scale it out. Let's select these vertices on the bottom and widen it a little bit better, and widen these vertices as well. Yeah, that's not perfectly round, but it should be fine because it's a screw and we're looking at it from a distance. Select these edge loops and push them up a little bit. Let's take the screw and move it up and move it above the Minion's goggles and scale it. And keep scaling it until we get to the right size of the screw according to the reference image. Just keep scaling it and move it to where it needs to be. Let's go to the front view and let's move it down a little bit. Move it into make sure the body of the screw is inserted into the goggle, leaving the top of the head, and just adjust it as needed. And let's make sure it's in object mode and just insert it in. Let's select the bolt or the screw real quick, and let's go to the front view and let's go to wireframe mode. And let's hit D to change the pivot point and move it down to the center of the eye area. Let's go to edit, duplicate special, and make sure it's on copy, and make sure the rotate Z is on -30 and give it 6 copies. And that's duplicate special. Next, let's just adjust each of the screws one at a time. Let's center the pivot, push this guy in, make sure it's in the object mode, and let's rotate each of these guys. Center the pivot, rotate it, and adjust them and push them in. Go back to this guy, rotate it a little bit the other way. Let's just keep doing this for all the screws. When we get to the last screw, let's go back to the first one. And let's go to edit, duplicate special, make sure rotate on Z is 30 and give it 1 copy. And let's center the pivot and let's adjust this screw as well. Let's rename the goggles, and let's rename all the screws or bolts and just call it bolt 1. Just rename everything. Let's select all the bolts and let's group it. And let's rename it to bolt group. And let's go to the front view and change the pivot point. Hit D and hit X to snap it to the center. Hit D again. Let's go to edit. Let's go to duplicate special. Make sure it's on -1 on the X axis and make sure there's no rotations. Make sure there's only one copy. Let's duplicate it. Let's create the hinge for the Minion goggle. Let's create a cylinder. Let's give it a subdivision axis of 12. And let's select these edges real quick. And delete them. Let's select the bottom ones as well. And delete them. And let's hit Control 1 to bring back the minion. And let's scale this cylinder. Let's move it closer to where the goggle is. Let's go to the side view and scale it. Try to match the reference image. Let's go select these vertex and pull them out a little bit. Insert 2 edge loops right here where the hinges are. Go to the front view and let's move this closer to the goggle. Try to match the reference image. Let's scale these guys in a little bit. Give it a little bit of taper. Let's select the faces of the cylinder and extrude it. And let's extrude it just a little bit, not too much. Let's define the hinge a little better. Let's go to the multi-cut tool, hit Control Shift and insert these edge loops. Insert these edge loops here and insert one at the halfway point. Control Shift. And let's select the top edge. And let's move it down a little bit to make it more rounder. Let's do the same thing to the bottom edge. Go back to the multi-cut tool. Let's insert edge loop here and an edge loop here and one more here. Let's go to smooth preview and take a look at it. Let's delete history on the hinge real quick. And let's select these vertices and scale them. Let's select these guys and scale them as well. Select these guys. Select these guys and scale it. Select these guys and scale them. And these guys as well. Let's go to the multi-cut tool real quick and insert an edge loop right here. And insert another edge loop right here. And let's select this edge and move it down. Select this one and move it down as well. And scale it. Let's do the same thing on the bottom. Let's select this edge loop right here and move it up. Select the next one, move it up and scale it. And let's go to the side view and let's use our reference image to move the hinge to the proper place in the front view as well. Let's select the hinge and rename it real quick to Hinge, of course. And let's go to the front view. And let's hit D to change the pivot and hit X to center it and snap it to the center. Hit D again. Let's go to Edit, Duplicate Special. And let's make sure it's on copy and -1 on the X scale. Let's select this edge loop on the goggles. And let's go to the move tool and move it forward to make it more rounded. Select this edge loop as well and move it back a little bit. Let's adjust the Minion geometry near the goggle area. Let's select these vertices and push them out so that it follows the reference image. And let's take a closer look near the goggle area and just adjust these guys. Make sure it doesn't overlap too much. This guy's out a little bit. It'll fit the goggle better. This guy back. Let's create the headband for the goggles. Let's go to Create, Polygon Primitives, and let's go to Pipe. Make sure it has 24 subdivisions and a thickness of 0.03. Let's scale it and let's move it up a little bit to where the hinge are, and let's scale it. Make sure it fits the head. Let's go to side view. Let's take a closer look. Let's move it up. Let's go and delete the front half of the headband because we don't need those. And let's select the vertex on the headband and move it back and make sure it's at the insertion point of the hinge. Move these guys back. And let's go to vertex mode and let's move this up. Follow the reference image. Let's select the faces on the right and delete them. And let's go to duplicate special real quick and make sure it's on instance. And let's duplicate special Let's adjust these vertices right here so they'll fit the head properly. Just these guys. Just keep adjusting them. Let's add the middle bevel or the indentation in the middle of the head strap. Let's delete history real quick. And let's go to the multi-cut tool real quick. Let's insert edge loop right here. And another one above it. And let's select faces. Select all the faces in the middle bevel. The middle area and extrude it in. And let's go to Control 1 to isolate it. We're going to delete the face where we extrude it in. Delete that. Let's go to Object Mode again and hit Control 1 to bring back the minion. Let's insert another edge loop here. And another edge loop here. Another edge loop here. And another edge loop here to define the middle bevel. Let's select this edge and move it up a little bit. Select this edge loop as well and move it down. Select this edge loop and let's scale it. Select this edge loop and scale it as well. Let's select this edge loop and scale it. Delete history. Let's add some more edge loops to the head strap. Let's go to smooth preview real quick, see how it looks. Let's select the headband again and go to the front view. And let's go to select vertex and select the vertex in the back of the headband and go to the move tool, make sure it's on world and retain component spacing is off. Hit X to snap it to the center. Let's delete history. Let's select the right duplicate head strap and delete it. And let's select the left head strap. Let's go to mesh real quick and let's go to mirror. Make sure all these parameters are the same and hit mirror. And now it should be one head strap piece. Hit Control 1 and isolate it and make sure there's nothing weird. And let's rename the head strap. Let's call it Minion strap. And the hinge, let's rename that as well. Let's put _R. And let's go to the other hinge and put an _L, I mean. And let's go to the bolt group. And let's change that to _R. Let's go to the other bolt group and add an _L. And let's create a new layer. Let's call it Minion Goggles _goggles. Let's add all these guys to that layer. Let's create the lens to the Minion goggles. Let's go and create a cylinder. And let's move it out and rotate it on X 90 degrees. And let's select the front faces of the cylinder and extrude. Extrude on the world axis and extrude and scale it in. Extrude one more time and scale it in a little more. And one more time, extrude and scale in a little bit more. And let's select some edges to delete. Select these guys, every other one. Let's delete it. And let's select the back faces of the cylinder. Delete those. Next, let's select all the faces of the cylinder. Let's extrude it. Extrude it out. Maybe a little bit thinner. It looks black right now, so we'll just select all the faces. Go to Mesh Display and reverse it. Let's go to the Hypershade real quick. And let's go under Arnold. Let's go to Shader. And let's go to select the High Standard Surface Shader. Let's rename it to AI_glass. And let's go to the Transmission. Under Weight, let's give it a weight of 1. So it'll be transparent. And let's select the lens, and under AI glass, let's assign material to selection. And now let's center the pivot, and let's move it to the front of the Minion. Move up a little more to the Goggle area. Try to scale it, and move it up a little more. Try to center it. Go to the right view. Let's try to put it in the Goggle. It actually looks pretty good. Maybe scale it a little bit. Scale it out. I think that looks good. Let's go to the front view. Let's hit D to change the pivot point and X to center it on the center grid. And let's go to Edit Duplicate Special. Make sure it's on Copy and Duplicate Special. Let's select both the lenses and add it to the Minion Goggles layer. Let's select the left lens and rename it to lens_L, and the right one lens_R. And let's select everything related to the goggles, and let's go to Edit and group it. And let's rename it to Minion_Goggles_GRP. This concludes modeling Minion Part 1. In Part 2, we'll work on the mouth, gums, teeth, tongue, the arms, as well as the gloves. So I'll see you there.